Hello everybody, this is Matthew with Power Shift Automotive, and today I'm about to shoot an extremely mediocre video. All I have honestly is a vent mount I just bought from Walmart and my iPhone 7 Plus. My GoPro has been having some audio issues with my external microphone, so I'm trying to iron that out. Either way, with that out of the way, today, 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe Sport. I have me and my daughter in the vehicle, and I've had it for a couple days now, and I'll have it till tonight, so I wanted to go ahead and shoot a video review. Just a couple initial impressions. Somebody asked me about quality. First thing you're going to notice is a lot of blank switches right here to the left of the steering wheel. I'm assuming your heated wheel, some of the other options are going to be here. Like in my Veloster, the heated wheel was down here. One of the things that is kind of a bitter pill to swallow for me is the fact that it has drive mode selector, hill descent control, a diff lock, but yet it has this 5-inch screen that does not have navigation. So in lieu of that, I have to use the same navigation system I use in my Freightliner Semi. At a $30,000 price point, that's kind of an issue. One of the other things I want to point out, it's a very glaring fault, is the backup camera. It has about the same resolution as a VGA camera, and those lines right there that adjust when you turn the wheel, they pretty much take up the entire big picture you get from a backup camera, which in my personal opinion is, hey, it could have been executed better, either with a larger screen or just more well thought out lines in that backup camera. Some things that are pretty decent about it, the fact that the materials themselves don't feel too bad. I mean, there are a lot of hard plastics throughout. This stuff up here, it's soft touch. It's not too bad, but it's about, I guess, what you would expect at a $30,000 price point. Some of the trim, and I do apologize, it's raining, but some of the trim does look pretty decent. Not too shabby on some of the trim over there. I've put probably 600 miles on it. I'm not hearing any squeaks going over bumps. I'm not hearing any random rattles. I'm not really hearing anything like that. So in terms of driving, it's not too bad. We'll get to that in a minute once we actually start driving this thing. Some of the little menus you can get through on your driver screen will give you the range, your average miles per gallon, which I've been averaging 25.7. Obviously your basic trips. And there's a lot of different driver selectable parameters. You, instead of showing your speedometer, you can show your station, service intervals. You can change all these settings here, as long as you're in park, of course. So overall, definitely not too bad. Just it is lacking in the features department, in my opinion, at a $30,000 price point. But as far as the materials go, they're actually not bad. Wind noise at speed, it's not bad. Definitely not as isolated as the Dodge Durango RT I just had. As far as the room goes, we just bought some stuff from Walmart. The back seat space is pretty large, and the rear cargo area is extremely large. If it wasn't raining so bad, I would probably show that off a little bit more. But with that out of the way, I guess it's time to get ready to drive it. A couple of the random quirks that I think this thing does have is because of the lack of navigation. When you actually do put a nav unit up there, depending where you put it, well, you can kind of see the issue. It prevents that cubby from actually coming all the way open. The glove box, it's not lit, and I don't know. I guess I'm a stickler for that. I mean, I once had a 1990 Honda Accord that had a glove box light. So I think Hyundai kind of dropped the ball. You do have a lot of blank switches here, which is just kind of a constant reminder that you should have spent more money or perhaps looked into another model. Alright everybody, getting ready to drive the 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe Sport. Now the name Sport, in my opinion, is quite whimsical. There really isn't much sporty about this thing. The name Sport does denote it is the smaller body. I don't necessarily know that Hyundai was trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. A couple things I'm just going to kind of say off the bat. The handling is pretty decent. It's certainly not terrible, but the steering itself lacks feedback of any kind. There literally is no feedback in the steering. The weight is decent. I mean, this is a vehicle built for soccer moms, built for the masses. those are just kind of some of my initial impressions. The automatic transmission, and this is not a dual clutch, it is a standard torque converter, 6-speed automatic, and it is hard to love it. If you put it in sport mode, it is annoying. You kick it down, it grabs a couple of gears, and it will hold that gear for like 9 minutes. It's pretty fucking brutal, I'm just being honest. If you do put it in manual mode, you can actually shift it, and it shifts at about the speed of molasses. It reminds you of an 85 TPI Camaro. It's pretty bad. Some other quick things I'd like to point out is blind spots. Blind spots are pretty bad. The driver's side mirror does have a built-in little blind spot mirror. That looks like a complete afterthought. Whoever signed off on that at the design meeting should be executed. The passenger side does not have it, and this particular vehicle does not have blind spot monitoring. It should. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. The Hyundai Santa Fe is a lot of things. It drives decent. It's not loud. The engine is extremely quiet. You don't get a lot of tire noise. You don't get a ton of wind noise. It's not very good. I'm about to show you what I mean. I'm in a Walmart parking lot, and I'm backing out. And again, as I've stated, the weather's not so good. And I do apologize. This is actually really my first video takedown I've done. I've done many articles, but I've not necessarily done any video takedowns. I would like to use my GoPro, but the audio with the external mic is just laughable, and I'm not going to subject you to that. So you're stuck with my iPhone 7 Plus and a Scotia vent mount. But just kind of taking off at low speed. The Santa Fe steers very good. The steering is light, which again, built for the masses, it should be. It's extremely numb. You really get no sense of anything that the tires are doing. It's kind of annoying in a sense. Which is, I guess what I'm trying to say, it's kind of a letdown. The suspension itself is pretty good. It's fairly stiff. It does ride pretty well. It's very compliant. I mean, I've taken it through Toledo, Ohio, through some other major cities, and the roads in Toledo are absolutely atrocious. It's embarrassing for Ohio, to be quite honest. But it handled it well. I wasn't hearing any squeaks coming from the door panels, the dashboards. One of the biggest problems you're going to notice with the 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe Sport is when you floor it and this happens. Slow. Absolutely slow. It does not have any sense of urgency whatsoever, and the transmission is extremely slow to shift. Driving it through town here, as I mentioned before, we're in eco mode, and it held that gear when I kicked it down. It held it for a solid 5 seconds before it shifted. I don't know why they would do that, but what I do know is it's the single most annoying thing about this vehicle, aside from the backup camera situation and the lack of navigation. That's just completely laughable to me. I have no clue why they would do that, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Anyway, now that I'm done knocking it, I'm going to tell you about some things I think are pretty good. One of the things that I think is pretty good about the Santa Fe is what I'm fixing to demonstrate. I have an on-ramp coming up here. Granted, I'm not going to have much speed. It is raining. I have my child in the car, so I'm not going to get too bug wild, but it is a pretty tight ramp to US 23. I've got it down. We're accelerating at the rate of a 4-tempo GL. But what is good about it, admittedly, is the handling. Handling's pretty good. If the steering just offered more feedback, it would probably win me over a little bit more. Now, I know this isn't an enthusiast vehicle, and somebody's going to chime in and say, hey, Matt, you're being a dumbass. This isn't supposed to be a Porsche Macan. And yeah, I know it's not. But at $30,000, I feel like it should have a little bit more character than what it does. Trying to merge to beat this semi, and we just have no power at all. Quite honestly. It just doesn't have a lot of passing power. But we are doing 65 through the rain. Vehicle feels extremely stable. Whatever tire doesn't feel ponderous. It doesn't feel like it's going to try to kill me in these conditions. You're hearing a lot of that rain noise, and when I had the Durango RT just a week ago, I was driving through similar rain, and I was completely almost isolated from that sound. The Hyundai certainly lacks the refinement of the Ford Edge, and I know the Durango's not in the class of this, but you could get a reasonably equipped Durango GT for the price of a sport turbo all-wheel drive. And in my opinion, I would take the Durango GT for that exact reason. You're just going to get a lot more refinement. The 8-speed automatic in the Durango is a masterpiece. It's very good. The 6-speed in this is quite possibly one of the worst modern transmissions I've experienced. But otherwise, I'm not trying to sit here and fully bash this thing. Should you buy it? Somebody asked me, should you buy this vehicle? I don't know. Do you like driving cars? If you answer yes, I would say do not buy this vehicle. If you don't care about driving and a vehicle is an appliance, it's your way to work, it gets your kids to school, it takes you to the coffee shop, then yeah, you should buy it. It's fuel efficient. Hyundai's recently have been pretty reliable. It's a handsome vehicle. On an exterior and interior level, I think it looks pretty good. I'm not going to act like it doesn't. This one wears the orange paint. I believe they call it lava orange, correct me if I'm wrong. With the DRLs on and the LED taillights, it's a handsome vehicle. It does look good. I've actually got the compliments on it. But as an enthusiast, it just doesn't really do anything for me. When I had the Durango RT, I didn't want to give it back. I enjoyed the couple of days I had with that vehicle. I was completely taken aside by how good it was. With this one, I'm enjoying driving it because it saves wear and tear on my talons, but I'm not going to be broken up when I give it back. It's just not very fun to drive. This vehicle is more of an appliance. It is all-wheel drive. It's going to get you through winter months. Beyond that, though, I don't really have a lot of positives to say about it. It's kind of lacking features. It doesn't have the Android Connect or whatever they call that. I'm an idiot when it comes to things like that. It does not have Apple CarPlay. A lot of the things you're going to get in this price range in other vehicles, you're just not going to get with the Hyundai, and that's pretty much the story.
I just want to go ahead and apologize for some of the rain noise and the audio cutting in and out during the driving section of this video. I did kind of misplace my lightning port to 3.5 millimeter audio adapter, so I couldn't run my external lavalier microphone, so you were hearing a lot of that rain noise coming through in the video. I certainly apologize for that, and the audio was cutting in and out at times, kind of going louder than quieter. I kind of just winged it with what I had, but in the future, I will definitely have a little better equipment. I kind of was just winging it. I couldn't quite find a couple of the things I needed, so as they say, I sent it, and that's pretty much what we got. I just want to take a moment to thank everybody for taking time to read my article, watch the video. There will definitely be more to come. If you do like the video, feel free to drop a comment and let me know. Don't be shy. Go ahead, subscribe, tell people about me, and there'll be plenty more to come from here, and I assure you it's only going to get far better from here.